Hello and welcome to this edition of Ringside Digest. I'm your host Kirk Day, along with my hosts Noah Byrne and Nick Miller. And we got a nice bit of stuff to go over today. We got some quotes from McDavid, possibly about a World Cup of Hockey. We got an Ovechkin breaking a Gretzky record, and we got a partnership with the NHL and Fanatics, which is something we're going to get deeper into when it comes to the video. It's a lot to go over. But before we get to the video, we noticed a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. So if you want to subscribe, see more from us, make sure to do it, because we're going to be posting content all throughout the year, and it's going to be a good time. So without any further ado, our first topic of the day here is the NHL is partnering with Fanatics for the official on-ice uniforms. Now this came out as an announcement yesterday, very early in the morning. I'm assuming so. It's probably they couldn't get people to see it. And it says, Fanatics and NHL announcing the new addition to our partnership. We're thrilled to become the league's authentic outfitter of on-ice uniforms starting in the 2024-2025 season. Now this deal is a 10-year deal, and it's starting in 2024-2025, so it's going to be starting the season after next, I believe. And it's a lot of people aren't happy, just to say the least. And I know I'm not. I don't know what else to say really with anything good about it. And I have a lot of Fanatics gear because I'm a collector of memorabilia and apparel, but I don't have any Fanatics jerseys for some specific reasons, some things that I've heard and seen. I haven't even tried to risk it. I'm just going to get Adidas ones. But here's a screenshot of someone on Twitter of a Fanatics jersey they got ordered, and the letters just fall off after the first wash. I've seen that from a lot of people, and I don't like it. So a lot of people are not happy. Just to say, I'll keep saying this. I know I'm not happy, and we're going to get into what Noah and Nick think as well. But just before that, they said they're going to make a major change to jerseys in 2026, 2027, I believe. So up until then, the jerseys will stay generally the same designs and stuff. There may be a few changes here and there, you know. I feel like Adidas has like the names on the back of the quotes on the back of the collar. I'm assuming Fanatics won't do that. I feel like that's just an Adidas thing. And they've also, they're not doing reverse retros. Those are the things that I'm assuming are going to be confirmed. So what do you think about the deal, Noah? Let me hear what you think of their partnership.
I kind of don't understand it. You know, I'd much rather, or I'm going to ask a question to you guys. I mean, what about a brand like CCM or Bauer or Warrior taking on that deal? You know, I'd much rather see a team or an organization, I guess, that knows how to make hockey gear and developed hockey gear to a high standard. Why don't they take it on? You know, why don't they try their hand at it? We've seen Adidas and we've seen Reebok, and you know they've made some pretty solid jerseys, and they're providers of sports equipment. I mean, Adidas is big in soccer, and you know they kind of have a little bit in baseball, and you know Reebok. I mean, they got bought out by CCM, which we all know, but they did pretty good at it. So I think I would have much rather see a team like Bauer or an organization like Bauer or CCM take it on.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there when you say like you'd rather an organization like that try to take it over. But for me, I'm not really sure it means much. Now, to be fair, I don't play hockey in the jerseys that I have, so I don't really, I don't really know the full extent of what's going to happen after I put it in the wash the first time, all those things. But I haven't had any problems with it yet. But certainly, to your point, I would have rather see an organization that's more familiar with hockey jerseys make them rather than Fanatics.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And Noah, to answer your question, is they should have so many other companies that make gear should be able to make a jersey. You would assume I mean CCM makes pant shells, Bauer makes pant shells. They all make them. Warrior, but Fanatics was the only. The NHL was the only company that Fanatics could purchase the rights to, and I think that says a lot. That shows that they can't the bigger leagues. We know the MLB, the NFL, and the NBA are much bigger markets than the NHL. If they can't afford those, I don't really think that's a telltale sign of something you want to hear from a company. So yeah. I just not the biggest fan of it. I probably will not be getting any Fanatics jerseys starting now or later. I only really have the Reebok ones. I don't have any big Adidas ones either. I don't have too many of them. So I just don't like the deal at all. I think it's a bad move by the NHL, and especially a lot of people are complaining. It's crazy to just go on Twitter. I don't think I've seen one thing that's positive about it. So that's not a telltale sign of what you want.
One you said they were going to do major changes. What year was it? I think it was 2027.
2026, 2027 season is what I've seen. Okay. I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but
I just hope it's not going to be any ads, you know. And I know the NHL is trying to make up for lost revenue with COVID and, you know, things like that. But I just hope we don't see any ads. You know, it ruins the jerseys. You know, I don't like it.
I don't either.
I agree with you. That's not a hockey thing for me. I don't want to see any ads on the jerseys whatsoever.
Like, I understand from the need for them, but
like, the NHL jersey is such a nice thing. It's a beautiful thing. I think it's one of the most beautiful jerseys in all of sports, like a hockey jersey. And you're gonna ruin it with an ad. I don't want to see anything other than up here. Like, there might be an ad right here or like up there or wherever, but not anything like you see in soccer or anything like that. I'd hate it.
Yeah, I don't see really many jersey collectors outside of the NHL. I feel like NHL's a big market for that, so I think they should stick to keep it simple, no ads if they have to. I do understand why they do it, but I know people aren't a fan of it, I know. And just on the end of this topic, got a tweet here from someone named Xavier on Twitter. It says, "Guys, please be careful. I left my Fanatics jersey in my car, and someone broke in and left 4 more in there." So we do feel bad for him, of course. It's not something you like to see. Do feel bad. Hopefully he gets rid of them soon enough. And with our second topic here, we have Alex Ovechkin breaks a Wayne Gretzky record. Now, this isn't the all-time goals yet. This isn't the big one that we know we've been waiting for. But he did break Wayne Gretzky's record for most 40-goal seasons in the NHL, which is 13. And that moves him, or don't move him into second place, but it moves him closer to the first place, to beating Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goals. Right now, he's 74 away, which I'll pull up another screenshot here. He's up 74 away. So he's not very far. Like, maybe 2 more seasons, maybe 3, but we just know it will be soon. And one thing to note, too, is that he had 2 shortened seasons. One was due to COVID, and one was due to the lockout year. And in those years, he had 45 games and 48 games, respectively. So imagine if those were full seasons. Like, he would probably even be closer. He could have beaten it by now. We don't know, but it's something you like to see. You want to see Ovechkin beat it. I mean, I know I've seen Gretzky is wanting to see him beat it too. It's something going to be very exciting when it happens. What do you think, Noah?
I mean, yeah, that's most 40 goals. I mean, that just goes to show that he is the best goal scorer of all time. Yeah. And I'm firmly saying that, and I firmly believe it solely because of that. And, you know, with how hard it is to score nowadays, and he's only 70 off of 894, or 74, sorry. He's 74 off of 894. It's wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question saying that he's definitely going to be considered the best goal scorer to ever live by the time he's done, if he's not already, because some people are, you know, yeah, just wait till he breaks the record and then I'll say it. But, you know, I just can't believe, like, he's gotten this close to it. Like, I remember a few years ago where this wasn't even a conversation a couple of years ago, and now all of a sudden Ovechkin's this close. And I mean, the guy, you always knew the guy was like one of the most talented guys to ever play. Like, he hits. He puts pucks in the net. He plays decent defense. He's a leader. He's a Stanley Cup champion. And now to top it all off, he's going to break Wayne Gretzky's goal record. Like, you can't ask for a better career from the guy.
Yeah, especially, and as well, having Barry Trotz come in and that Stanley Cup year, get them, make the team better at defense, make him better at defense. Just made him a more complete player as well. Like, that just adds on top of what he's already done. Just changing his game and still putting up the goals that he was. Like, it's incredible, and you just love to see it. There's not much more you can say. You love to see it, and it's like to see him scoring goals. It makes me smile whenever I see Ovechkin on the box chart with a goal. So, yeah, it's just excited to see him beat it when he does. Hopefully he does. Hopefully nothing happens out of the ordinary. But yeah, it's gonna be a special day when that happens. With our third topic and final one, we have McDavid speaks about a World Cup of hockey. Now, this one comes last night as the World Baseball Classic finals were last night between the U.S. and Japan. Mainly because it was Mike Trout versus Shohei Ohtani in the last out of the game, full count. People were going nuts. And Ohtani put up pitch. I don't think he threw a pitch below 100, except for one that was 88, and it was a slider. So, like, that moment of the two best players in the MLB playing against each other for their countries, you know, two friends, and it was insane to see. And McDavid here, I'll pull up what he said. He said, it's what we've been asking for. It's what we've been asking for in hockey for a long time, right? Best on best. Did you see Ohtani versus Trout? That's what hockey's been missing almost a decade now. And he said McDavid wants to see the NHL do best on best. And I completely agree with him. I mean, that's what the World Cup of Hockey is about. It's like an Olympics, but with like more competitive. There's no countries that like had to be in it because they're in the Olympics. It's just the best players on the best countries playing against the other best players in the world, and it's such a special sight to see. But the problem with the NHL is they don't make it consistent. They've done a few over the years, but like the MLB almost does one pretty much every 3 years, opposed from the one previous to this because of COVID once again. But if the NHL makes it consistent, what a tournament it would be. It would, I think, it'd probably do something better in some playoffs, some Stanley Cup playoff games, some Stanley Cup finals. Like, it's incredible. And I'll put the years that they have done it here. They did Canada Cup, World Cup in 1976, 1981, 1984, 87, 91, 96, 2004, and 2016. And, like, in my opinion, there's just too much space in between each tournament. People forget about it. People will be like, oh, yeah, they'll just forget about it, not care about it, hear about it. Like, that's what we're doing now. There's discussion about it. Nothing is happening. No, we're not doing it. No, we gotta wait. Now, I understand if they want to wait for Russia, which is completely fine. You can't, I don't think, have a hockey tournament without that team. Some of the best players in the NHL are from there. So I do understand why, but you gotta make it more consistent. Get a deal done with the CBA to make it a certain time. Get it so it fit the league, like, year around it, the schedule. And that's when it'll be ready to go. I think it needs to be finalized. Everything needs to be done before you start talking about it. Just to not get fans excited, players excited, because players don't not like representing their country. They love it. It's such an excitement to see as well. Yeah, so you got to make it more consistent if they want to do it right. What do you think, Noah?
Yeah, when the best player in the NHL comes out and says that he wants that, you kind of have to take that into account, and you kind of have to make that work. We've seen with the World Baseball Classic the viewership and how many people were tuning in to watch, the countries. And I think it generates so much in terms of knowledge and in terms of revenue. And I think it's a must for the hockey world.
Yeah, I think the World Cup of Hockey needs to happen. I mean, we were robbed of seeing Connor McDavid and Sidney Crosby in their primes together on the same team. Like, how crazy would that have been with up
that would have been wild.
I had McDavid, Crosby, McKinnon, and I don't know who you could put on the fourth line, even Stamkos, any one of those guys. And, I mean, McDavid and Crosby alone is just like, why were we not allowed to see that? Like, why didn't this happen? Like, it's just so infuriating, because the next time that this probably happens, Crosby will be at least 37 or older. Now, it's still Crosby, but it's not, prime Crosby. Like, I don't know. The point is they need to make this tournament happen, because we want to see, like, we're competitive in Canada. We want to see, like, everyone says, oh yeah, Canada's just gonna do this and do that and whatever. But you see the team that the Americans are putting together, and you say, this tournament really, really needs to happen, with Austin Matthews going up against Connor McDavid, Jason Robertson going up against Mitch Marner, like, and so on and so forth. This really, really needs to happen.
Yeah, and as well as the team North America, like, when it first happened, Matthews and McDavid on the same team, like, you'll never see that again. You won't. It's just It won't happen. And Team Europe as well, for like the smaller countries, so they won't get blown out of the water. I mean, I do like that idea as well, but I would question the Team North America for the next tournament. I mean, I did like it. You get to see the guys like that who will probably never play on the same team, superstars, young guys, all play on the same team, not playing for their country. I do understand why, but I know seeing it though. It would work. Mm-hmm. It would work, but you'd have to question it. You don't know, so. But the World Cup of Hockey, you guys are right, and it needs to happen. There's no other choice. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any hockey fans say they don't want it. It was just the excitement. It would be outstanding for it. Just seeing the superstars just play, like, oh man, just talking about it gets me going. But yeah, it gotta happen. I do agree with it.
There's no reason to not do it. Like I said, it generates so much, and all fans watch it, and all fans love to support their country and get behind their country. So make it happen, plain and simple.
It's as simple as that. That's everything for this video, guys. If you liked it, make sure to subscribe, because we're posting more content, like I said at the beginning of the video, all throughout the year, all throughout the off season. We're gonna have some special things coming up with the draft and free agency and the playoffs when it comes. So if you like this video as well, make sure to like it, make sure to subscribe to see more. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.